back with a monsoon session of the Parliament all set to begin from the 21st of July. Political battle lines are sharply drawn. The opposition India bloc is holding a virtual strategy meeting on the 19th of July, while the BJP-led NDA also held its preparatory meeting today. From the ongoing special intensive revision of electoral rolls in Bihar to Operation Sindoor to India-US trade deal to crimes against women, Veera, there's a lot that the opposition wants to corner the government with. But the government, on the other hand, has a lot of key bills lined up for introduction and also passage. Sources say that the BJP's meeting today focused on ensuring maximum attendance of its MPs, disciplined participation, and also to highlight these key legislative achievements, including what it did during Operation Sindoor.
That's right. It's got all the ingredients for another stormy session in Parliament. Will work get done? Will confrontation overshadow legislative business? Meanwhile, Parliamentary Affairs Minister Kiran Rijiju will host an all-party meeting on the 20th of July to seek cooperation for smooth functioning. Good luck with that. The BJP has also instructed its MPs to counter opposition narratives around the Pahalgam terror attack, Bihar voters list controversy, as you mentioned, and Donald Trump's ceasefire claims. A long list of legislative bills, Vasudha, as you just mentioned, on the agenda, including those on taxation, IIM reforms and sports governance. The Congress and its allies are gearing up to corner the government on issues of national security, Jammu and Kashmir, voter suppression allegations and women's safety, as you just mentioned.
That's right, Veera. The Parliament session has also been extended by a week, and people are wondering in Delhi as to what are these key bills that are going to come up. There is a sports bill that is extremely important because it looks at professionalizing all the federations, and that is going to be controversial as well. But the second half of the budget session, we did see the Waqf bill being passed in both houses that functioned well past midnight. This time, the dates have been announced much earlier. It's a month-long session, a week longer than usual, so clearly a lot of action that is expected. But will there be constructive debate or will there be a washout of the session? That is what we will discuss now. Congress MP Nasir Hussain joins us. Mr. Hussain, thank you so much for joining us on this broadcast. Sir, I'm told that the SIR is going to be an important point that the opposition parties are hoping to raise, with the Election Commission just now saying that 95% of the enumeration forms have been submitted. How will you sort of counter those kind of claims? And also with Operation Sindoor, what kind of claims, what kind of pitch will the Congress party and the opposition parties make this time?
Parliamentary Strategy Committee did meet, and then tomorrow evening we have an India Alliance meeting virtually on the issues that are confronting the nation now. So, as you mentioned that Pahalgam incident, Operation Sindoor aftermath, then unexpected ceasefire, then flip-flop foreign policy. This is something very important to the nation and the people of the country wants to know as to why and how ceasefire was announced and who announced, who mediated. There are claims from the American president, not once, twice, but 23 times he has said that he was the one who got the ceasefire done and announced. So these are the questions that are there in the minds of the people of the country. I think it will be a big issue to be raised in the parliament. And then, as you mentioned, Bihar, SIR, and then they are going to do it in the next few states where elections are going on. There is a case, it is sub judice now, there is a case in the Supreme Court. Supreme Court, I think, will be coming out with some judgment on 28th of this month. So what is the hurry in getting this exercise done? So especially when Bihar, we have a flood-like situation, especially when the elections are on and the monsoons are on. And then this sort of an hurried exercise will only disenfranchise many more people who will be wanting to vote, who has a constitutional right to vote. See, what is happening is they have added voters to the voters list in Maharashtra and won the election. Here they want to delete the voters from the voter list and win the election. This is what it is there. This will be taken up. Then there is this statehood for Jammu and Kashmir, which was promised by the government of India, none less than the Prime Minister and Home Minister have promised not once, twice, but n number of times that the statehood will be given. That is there. Then the caste census, they are announced about the caste census, but the modalities of caste census need to be discussed because we need to do a postmortem of the entire policies and the developmental and who has been benefited by the development process in this country in the last 75 years.
Right.
These are very, very important issues. And apart from that,
Right.
we have this Manipur situation worsening day by day. We have violence against Dalits, Adivasis, OBCs and minorities across the country. Then we have widespread
what kind of
infrastructure
attendance
failures
are you
across the
expecting
country.
for the
and
July
then unemployment
20th?
Other issues are there, but these important issues will be taken up in the
absolutely.
parliament.
Mr. Hussain, what kind of attendance are you expecting for the July 20th meeting? Because TMC has just now said that Abhishek Banerjee will also be attending. So can we expect a unity amongst a projection of unity in the India bloc this time during the monsoon session?
I think there has been unity amongst the India bloc, and also if you look at the work bill, it is not just that the members of the India alliance, but also parties outside the India alliance like BRS, like BJD, but YSRCP. These parties did come out and vote against the work bill, and they stood united with the opposition and India bloc there. So in tomorrow's meeting, only India alliance members have been invited for tomorrow's meeting, and I think there will be 100% attendance in tomorrow evening's meeting.
Okay, and that also has the DMK as part of it. Selam Dharanitharan, of course, the DMK, after your meeting huddled with the Chief Minister in Chennai today, focus more on issues more closer to Tamil Nadu, more a platform for building to the elections 2026.
See, firstly and foremost, DMK will also oppose the Election Commission special intensive revision, because it's very appealing that people are requested to show documents such as passport, which only 8.7% of this country holds. And secondly and foremost, they're asking for caste, or they're saying SC/ST certificates, or they're saying birth certificate. But 80% of Indians do not have the certificates, which is a very important point to note. Why are they not accepting Aadhaar? Aadhaar was an identity document introduced by the union government, so that has to be accepted. So now the only problem is that we feel this is an exercise to leave out people who may not vote for the BJP. We know who that is. That's the first and the foremost problem. And secondly, we'll also have to talk about the Air India plane crash which happened in Ahmedabad. The report which came out is full of fallacies. It doesn't even say who's at fault, right? So that will have to be clarified. There is a plan to blame the pilots, but then the pilot unions are saying the pilots are not at fault. So what went wrong? Who are they trying to save? That will be the second issue. Then we'll have to talk about imposition of Hindi through the new education policy, and then comes delimitation, and then comes fiscal federalism.
Okay, so a whole range of issues that the DMK has come up with. Charu Pragya of the BJP joins us. Charu, you heard the Congress MP and also the DMK spokesperson. United India bloc preparing its list of issues to corner the BJP government and also the NDA government. How is the BJP looking at countering some of this, especially when it comes to Bihar and the SIR process?
Good evening. That's a news flash for me. United India bloc. Let's see how that progresses in this particular parliament session, because we've not seen it in action since its inception. But parliament is the temple of our democracy, and every session needs to be a space for constructive debates and discussion. Unfortunately, and I can list out the last 8 to 10 sessions of parliament where disruption has become the way forward. We've unfortunately lost nearly 50% of parliament functioning time to disruption, which has been completely non-constructive. So every 0 hour, every question hour, the opposition stages a walkout and they come prepared for it. It's orchestrated chaos, and that is unfortunate for our country. The issues that they are trying to raise are issues that we've been discussing every single day, and I'm sure those discussions will go forward in parliament as well. But when they talk about the ceasefire, they are missing what happened today when the United States of America declares TRF as a sanctioned body now. So it is a diplomatic win for India, and if this is discussed in parliament, it is going to re-establish what we've been saying for a very long time. It's a diplomatic win, and I think the opposition will do well to accept it. I heard a mention of the SIR in Bihar. Again, another issue which has been discussed in great detail, because in 2002, 2003, the activities of the Election Commission was very similar to what is happening right now. In fact, SIR happened in over 20 states. An SIR actually also
So-
happened in the state of Delhi in 2019, just before 2020 Delhi elections. So, I think a lot of the disruption that is caused in Parliament is mere optics, because these discussions happen every single day.
Charu, very briefly, what are the key concessions that the government's willing to offer to ensure that there is no disruption? And then I'll get to Nasir on the one key concession the opposition's willing to concede on to ensure Parliament functions smoothly. First, Charu.
The basic thing is all the major issues are on the table, and the government wants to have a constructive discussion. That cannot happen when the entire opposition stages a walkout. Every single session, this walkout comes on the day of a critical discussion of a critical bill. If you look at the way the 16th Lok Sabha and the 17th Lok Sabha has functioned, the hours lost because of this walkout and disruption have more than doubled. That's the amount of money, that's the amount of time, that's the amount of energy we are losing.
Right.
The government is willing to discuss everything. We just need an opposition which cares more about people and less
Okay,
about...
Mr. Hussain, Mr. Hussain.
Yep. See, I think the BJP spokesperson doesn't know that in the last two sessions it was the government, it was the MPs from the treasury benches who disrupted the house, who didn't wanted a discussion. They were doing sloganeering in the house. They were not only disrupting the house, they were also disturbing the members of opposition when they were on their foot, when they were on the feet and speaking. If I would like to recall Sushma Swaraj and Arun Jaitley ji, late Sushma Swaraj and Arun Jaitley ji, disruption is the right of the opposition. The floor belongs to the opposition. It is the government that has to accommodate. It is the government which ran away from discussion on Manipur. It was the government that ran away on discussion from Pahalgam. It is the government that ran away from discussion on many important issues. We have been asking for discussion through relevant rules and procedures of the House. It is the government which is not accepting discussion in any of these issues. They are running away from. You asked them in the last 11 years on how many issues have they accepted decision.
Okay, Charu, quickly respond to that.
Can I quickly make an
interjection? In Rajya Sabha, have they accepted? Has accepted anything and they have discussed anything in Lok
Charu,
Sabha?
can you respond to that? Yeah.
Most respectfully, let me remind you that what you call as disruption actually became violence, and that has never happened in Indian Parliament before. Only when you were in the opposition, you created chaos to a level that marshals were manhandled and had to be hospitalized. You cannot call that disruption. Parliament is a place for debate, dissent, yes, but that cannot turn violent, and that is what you've been doing. If we are saying that if Rahul Gandhi is making irresponsible remarks abroad,
why are you running away from
India in a negative way?
I'm sorry, Salem Dharmitaran, you got squeezed out on this. Unfortunately, there's some breaking news coming in and I'll have to end this conversation. We'll have much more of this in Parliament from Monday.